Hi guys and welcome back to my channel. I am about to go and get another texture release and silk press. It has been a very long time since I last done one and the roots are rooting. To be fair, my hair's quite straight. I blow dried it like maybe a month ago and have just taken it out of some cornrows because I had a wig on, but I want to be a texture release babe again. It's absolutely chucking it down outside, which is not great, but it's fine, it's fine. My hair's gonna look cute. So I have just come back from my texture release. It's just, every time it doesn't get old, you know? Look how straight that is, look at the shine. And also my hair has grown as well, which I'm so happy about. I think next year I'm gonna cut it into a bob, but for now I'm just happy with the length. That, you know, it keeps growing, I'm very, very happy. It's the dry skin for me. So it is the next day now after my texture release. This is kind of how I wrap it. I think I've shown it in one of my other videos. I just put a headscarf on and then some like a wig cap. And then kind of wrap it round, and it is still super sleek. It has been raining non-stop, but I've been able to avoid the rain. I don't play. Get ready, put some makeup on, and then come back and do some helpful tips about texture releases. There's so much that I didn't know, and I feel like there's so much that like in general people don't know that could help you decide whether you want to get one or not. I'm back with my texture release tips. I kind of forgot I was meant to be filming this. I just can't get over the slickness, the shine. Here are the tips that I would say you should know before you get your texture release. First and foremost, texture release is not relaxer, is not texturizer, is not the same thing. Those are permanent solutions, permanent chemicals, that the only way that you can actually get rid of them is either doing your big chop or just letting it grow out and just like slowly transitioning. Texture release is not the same. It definitely still is chemicals. I think it's like amino acids. But this is a temporary solution to just a better way of managing your hair rather than just completely changing it to straight. Definitely do your own research. I do have a video which I'll link here of me actually doing my texture release, going to the salon to get it done, and also having a silk press. But definitely do your research where you're going, research what it actually is that you put in your hair. Don't just go off by what different people are saying. Like, kind of do your own actual factual research of if it will be good for you to do for your own hair. My understanding of the texture release is like, it's like a keratin treatment but less harsh. I know that a few people, or quite a few people, said that like keratin treatments were breaking their hair. So texture release is kind of a form of keratin. It actually does have keratin in it, but it's specifically for afro hair, which is great. Another thing that I actually wanted to say is actually during the process of actually getting texture release, I would say it kind of stung a little bit, kind of stings, kind of burns a little bit like a relaxer does. And I haven't seen anybody else in their like videos or anyone else that I've seen done texture release talk about it. And I feel like it burnt a little bit like a relaxer. My hairdresser just put like hairspray on like the spots. It was mostly around like my hairline where the hair is like very thin, or like the back as well. But afterwards when it was like washed out, it didn't like, there wasn't any pain or it wasn't any sore spots of like where it was kind of burning a bit. It was absolutely fine after it was all washed out. But I just wanted to mention in case like some people have that and think what is going on. I definitely experienced that, which I hadn't seen anyone say. Washing, I would say, is when you see the actual like release. Obviously it's straight now, it's looking great, but once it's like actually wet and washing is actually when you see like the difference of like your curl pattern. I would say it didn't really loosen my curls like a lot. Like it wasn't like a completely like my hair's like so loose now, so much longer now. My hair was definitely still curly, pretty much reverted back. But I would just say, instead of like the look, it was more how it felt. It feels, or every time I get a texture release, it feels so much softer. The washes after feel so much softer than my natural hair. My natural hair is a natural tangling. It tangles at the roots, it mats at the roots. It's wash days are a struggle for me, but texture release really helps in terms of my wash days, washing myself and actually like being able to comb through and get through to the roots and actually wash it properly, because sometimes it's really hard to wash properly when your hair is just so matted and tangled and kinky and afro and all of that. The point I have to make is, in terms of how long it lasts, depends on your kind of hair. Is your hair coarse? Is your hair really thin? For me, I would say the first time it lasted like 4 months, it was really good, and then the second time it lasted like 2.5 months, like not as good as the first time. I don't really know why that is, but like I noticed like a lot quicker that my hair was like not as soft and not as loose as the first time. This is my 3rd time getting it done, so I'm gonna see like how long this takes before it's like becoming a bit tougher. I don't know, I feel like some people do it like 3 times a year, 4 times a year. Some people just do it once a year because that's fine for them. Carry on doing texture releases, see like how many I do each year, and then kind of work it out how well it works for me. Texture releases are a heat activated process, so you'll need to blow dry, straighten your hair after to actually get the texture release, I guess, which is probably why most people get a silk press straight after, just because it works well with the hair. And then in terms of how long it actually lasts, so say I went to go and get a texture release and a silk press from the salon, like how long it will last from how the salon have done it. I think it depends on like how you treat your hair. If you avoid wetness, moist, sweating, going in the rain, then I think it can last, like the longest it's lasted for me, like this, I would say is a month, with just me needing to like straighten the front kind of bit. But like in terms of like looking like this, it's lasted for a month when I've been really careful. I go to the gym very often, like 3 or 4 times a week, and I just put a scarf on, use a bit of dry shampoo, and it just keeps like the roots at the front. I feel like my whole hair, the roots of my whole head doesn't like go afro again. It's mostly just like the front from like sweat. And then other times, like the second time I got the silk press, I was a bit less careful. I was just like, oh, I just want to enjoy it, summer, and it didn't last as long. So like 2 weeks after, you know, it started going a bit, it was a bit less straight, and I had to like straighten it again, wash it, all of that. And then my last point is, do I think it's worth it? I think it's worth it depending on what you want it for. So for me, I just wanted a easier way to manage my very matted, tangled afro hair. I feel like if you're trying to get a texture release instead of a relaxer, you will be disappointed, because it's not the same thing, and it will not give you that bone straight hair that you can just, you know, go around, go anywhere, and you're not going to see those curls coming back. I think it's a good like medium option. Keratin treatment myself, but I feel like a lot of people say the keratin is a lot more effective in terms of like your hair, your curls being a lot looser and like a lot straighter, and I feel like I wouldn't mind. I would definitely try a keratin treatment, but for now, like the texture release does work for me. It does help my hair to be more manageable, and then if I wanted to do maybe a little bit more, then maybe a keratin treatment would be a better option. But the most important thing is literally doing your own research, researching the hairdresser, asking them as many questions as possible, and also just knowing that it's not the same as a relaxer. It definitely is chemicals. Natural hair babes be talking about how texture release is just heat damage, and I just feel like if you don't know, you haven't actually done your research, you can't just label it as like another type of relaxer or another heat damaging thing. My hair is not heat damaged. So everything that I wanted to cover. I had a few questions on my other videos. I'll link them in the description box anyway. If you have any more questions or wanted to see me do like a full wash day or wash routine after a texture release, which I'll probably do in a couple of weeks, let me know and I'll film that as well. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!